Today we turn our hand to farming and a traditional Chinese farming method called 2x G. This is the application of a whitening agent to trees to protect them in the winter from infestation and frost. So this video is perfect for those of you who have tried growing orange trees or other citrus fruits and have seen their best efforts go to waste due to frost and the cold, or maybe infestation from insects. So we learn about this white paste, how to apply it to the trees to protect them from frost, and we learn about the ingredients, and the narrator of this video shows us how to make it ourselves. As I've said, the protective agent is called 2x G, and the major ingredient of this paste is quicklime. But you will also need sulphur powder, salt, and vegetable oil. If conditions permit, you can also add some stone sulphur mixture, which can enhance the effect as an insecticide. So where does this information come from? This page, which is useful also for those of you studying Mandarin Chinese, was made by a Chinese farmer who uploaded the video originally to Chinese social media and a video sharing platform. So the ingredients. The ingredients of the paste that make up this homemade traditional method is called 2x G. So first we have quicklime. We need 10 gin, which translates as 6 kilograms. Sulphur powder, we need 1 gin, which is equal to 0.6 kilograms. We need salt, again 1 gin, which is 0.6 kilograms. And then we also need 0.2 gin of vegetable oil. Lime sulphur, also known as stone sulphur, can also be used, and we'll come on to that later. We'll also need several containers of various sizes to be used in the preparation of our mix. Note the large metal bowl that our narrator uses in his preparation of the quicklime. He has chosen this large metal bowl to mix the quicklime because when you add water to quicklime, there is a chemical reaction and it gets hot very fast. So let's move on to the video. Firstly, introduction and ingredients. We start with an introduction from our creator. His name is Jin. He says, "Hello, my name is Jin. Today I will show you how to make and apply a whitening agent called 2x G. So, how to make our very own 2x G. We see the narrator at 0.15 in the video. He says, this is 10 gin, so 6 kilograms of quicklime. Add an appropriate amount of water to make the quicklime bubble and boil. As a note, we do not need to add hot or boiling water to the quicklime at all. Quicklime reacts vigorously with water and the mixture will heat up and bubble of its own volition. We are then warned not to add so much water that it becomes like a soup. We want a paste, not a soup. He says, if you add too much, it will become like a watery soup, which isn't easy to paint on. And he continues, once the quicklime has dissolved, move on to the next steps in the operation.
大家好，我是阿金。今天给我的骑乘树配置涂白剂，气温很快就要降到0度以下了，赶紧给树干涂白。这里是10斤生石灰，然后加适量的水，把生石灰泡开。加水的时候注意不要被烫到。这里加水不能加得太多，水加多了就很稀，不方便涂白。把生石灰化开，然后进行下面的操作。
As a note, In the next step, the farmer prepares some sulphur powder in a separate bowl, and he uses some water to dissolve it. Once dissolved, this will be added to the quicklime.
再加1斤牛黄，用水泡一下。
Note, in a third container, this time a ceramic bowl, we see our Chinese farmer add some salt to water. This is the third ingredient in our 2x-G mixture. He continues, next, mix a gin or 0.6 kilos of salt to some water and stir to dissolve. Note, we now have 3 containers simultaneously in use in our preparation of the 2x-G mix. The first contains 10 gin or 6 kilos of quicklime, the next 1 gin or 0.6 kilograms of sulphur powder, and the third 1 gin or 0.6 kilograms of salt. Before mixing these together, there is one more task.
然后再加1斤盐，把它用水化好。
He continues, prepare a bucket with a gauze net over it, ready in order to filter any residue from the mix.
准备一个砂网，过滤一下石灰的渣。
And then, he says, after the quicklime has cooled down, we can add the salt to the mix. Stir it in well using a spoon. Next, add the sulphur powder. The sulphur powder is a bit harder to mix in, so you will need to stir for longer.
石灰冷却得差不多了，然后就可以加盐，然后再用勺把它搅拌均匀，再把牛黄粉倒进去。牛黄粉比较难和匀，所以要多搅拌一下。
And then he continues. This is me adding 0.2 gin or 0.1 kilos of vegetable oil. As an alternative, you can also use animal fat oil.
这里加2两的植物油，加动物油也可以，依旧是搅拌。
After mixing evenly, use the net to filter out the large lime pieces. This is one way of doing it. Of course, there may be others, maybe better ways of doing it. Note, can you think of a different or even better way of filtering out and then discarding the larger quicklime pieces? Is there a way of doing this which doesn't lead to as much waste?
把大的石灰颗粒过滤掉，就这样把它全部过滤完。当然还有更好的办法来过滤。
Last, add stone sulphur, a gin or 0.5 kilos, or half a gin, 0.25 kilos is enough. In his case, he is using half a gin, which is 0.5 kilos. He continues, after stirring it in, the whitening agent is ready. Of course, you can still make it without the stone sulphur, but adding this will add to the insecticide properties of the mix. Now, the preparation is ready. The bucket contains about 50 gin or 25 kilos of the mixture, which costs over just 10 yuan to make. To buy it over the internet would have cost him about 100 yuan.
最后在这个里面加入石榴合剂，用1斤或者半斤都可以，我用半斤。 搅拌均匀以后，涂白液就制作好了。当然也可以不用放石榴合剂，只是放了石榴合剂效果会更好，因为石榴合剂本来就有杀菌、杀虫的效果。这么一桶最少有50斤，自己配置这么一桶，成本就10多块钱。到晚
So, how to apply the 2x-G mixture? He continues, carry it to the orange orchard to paint the trees. The bucket is quite heavy to carry. There is easily enough to paint 500 or 600 trees.
提到果园里面去刷白了，提这么一桶好重啊，刷500-600棵骑橙树没有问题。
Using a small bowl will make the work easier. This size bowl can contain enough 2x-G to apply dozens of trees because they are still seedlings.
« 用一个小碗分装一下会更轻松。这么一小碗其实可以刷几10棵树，因为我的脐橙还是苗子。
Starting at the base of the trunk, we can see it is yellowish in appearance. After a while, as it dries, it will turn white. Work up along the trunk, trying to apply the mixture as evenly as possible. Whitening fruit trees in this way is good for guarding against disease and infestation. Extra ways to protect your navel orange trees from cold and infestation. In the winter, you can also spray the trees with stone sulphur mixture, which will act as a pesticide. In this way, the numbers of pests in the orchard can be controlled, and the number of infestations will reduce each year. The height you apply the whitening agent to should depend on the height of the tree, but will generally be about 50 centimeters. You can use the 2x-G mixture on a variety of types of tree. Although whitening fruit trees may not seem to be a top priority, in fact the process is of utmost importance. It is best to apply the mixture in sunny conditions before the temperatures drop significantly. This mixture is also conducive to the protection of plum trees in the winter. At the same time, it provides protection from damage to the trunk of the trees caused by strong sunlight.
« 这个刷在树干上是黄色的，等它慢慢干掉就变成白色了。接下来就慢慢的刷在树干上面，尽量做到刷均匀。冬季给果树涂白，有利于防治病虫害。冬季清园还可以单独用石榴合剂，像打农药一样对果树全部喷洒一遍，可以很大程度上控制果园的病虫害基数，使第2年的病虫害会少一些。涂白的高度可以根据树干的高度决定，一般50公分左右就可以了。各种各样的果树都可以用涂白剂。冬季对果树进行涂白，虽然看似不重要，但是对果树来说还是比较重要的。 刷白要趁着天气晴朗，同时又即将大幅度降温。果树涂白还有利于冬季的保温，同时还能防止强烈的阳光对树干造成破坏。
Our Jin, our narrator, now has 500 navel orange trees, he tells us. And this is a small job, and he can get his son to help out with. Finally, he tells us, no matter how hard the task is, his son is willing to perform it. And he advises, take your little ones out to do lots of activities. And that's the end.